Thank you, Senator Ahmedvar.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you both of you for being here. I was trying to take notes, but I think I got this right, Mr. Peterson, that you talked about this bill as being an expression of the vanguard of ideology. Am I right in thinking?
Well, I was thinking more about the policies that surrounded it, but okay. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm trying to square what you, as a party of one, are saying with published documents from the Canadian Psychological Association, the American Psychological Association, the Canadian Medical Association, the American Psychiatric Association, the Canadian Psychiatric Association, and the United Nations Human Rights experts. So these are all, you know, these are not parties of one. They are associated. They are all, I imagine, lots of psychologists are members of the Canadian Psychology Association and the Canadian Psychiatry. So how are we to square what you're saying, which is your opinion, which you are absolutely entitled to, with what everyone is saying, plus the feelings and testimonies of the people who have suffered over 30 years, who've been taking issues to court? These are people who we've listened to. So how are we to square this?
Okay, well.
So basically, she's just saying that a bunch more professionals who are just like you, but they're on the other end of this other side, where they're saying that Bill C-16, which I assume is the pronoun bill, the one saying that if you saying that they're forcing you to use pronouns now, this is now a legal issue. A lot of them are in support of this bill. So you, with the opinion that you have, not that you're a lone wolf, but we see that these other professionals agree with it being a thing. What makes you so different from this? Why are you so opposed to it? And also, I want to point out that Bill C-16 is something that people, I've seen it a few times in comments on IG, DMs on IG, and in one of my emails I received, where someone was saying that Jordan Peterson lied about Bill C-16. So far, I haven't seen any bit of liar come from Jordan Peterson. I honestly don't see how he would benefit from lying about a bill or anything, because he seems very open to many different things. So I'm watching to see exactly what y'all are talking about. Okay, let's go. Also, guys, if you like this type of content, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button and also the notification bell, so that next time we do post content, you'll be the first to be notified.
We've listened to. So how are we to square this?
Okay, well, with regards to your second point, if the people that you're listening to aren't randomly selected from a population, then their opinions are worthless from the perspective of testimony, because you don't know if you're dealing with a biased sample. And that's a big problem with the public consultation process that underlied this bill. And you can not appreciate that if you'd like, but it's standard practice in any polling institution or any body that's attempting to extract a genuine opinion out of a so-called community of people. And if
I love that. If the people that you're getting that information from have been selected to give that information, we can't really rely on that information. Sorry. If they were randomly selected, or if they were like in the pool and like lottery balls and they just select something that they don't know that they're selecting, then we can talk about it. But their opinions look like they might be swayed if that was in fact what's going on. Okay, let's go.
Body that's attempting to extract a genuine.
He might not have been saying that, but that's what I heard.
So-called community of people, and if that isn't followed, then you can't tell if the information that you're receiving is biased. And this, with regards to your first point, what exactly are all those people who aren't thinking the same way as me saying? You said that there's a bunch of them and a bunch of groups, but you never said what they're saying precisely.
Well, I think our chair would rule me out of order if I proceeded.
No, you're fine.
To read out what they're all saying. But in general, they say they oppose discrimination and harassment because of gender identity and gender expression. And then there's 3 pages, which I can share with you.
I oppose discrimination against gender identity and gender expression. That's not the point. The point is the specifics of the legislation that surrounds it and the insistence that people will have to use compelled speech. That's what I'm objecting to. I've dealt with all sorts of people in my life, people who don't fit in all sorts of different ways. I'm not a discriminatory person. There's 500 hours of my teaching to my classrooms on tape on YouTube, and nobody's found a smoking pistol. I'm not a discriminatory individual, but I think this legislation is reprehensible, and I do not believe for a moment that it will do what it intends to do. I also don't think that my opinion deviates substantially from the bodies that you're describing, because you haven't provided any evidence that they say anything other than discrimination is a bad thing. And I think that unreasonable discrimination is a bad thing. And it's unreasonable when people are judged for any reason other than the specific competence that they bring to, say, a given position. It's not in anyone's best interest that that occurs.
Young lady, it look like y'all have messed with the wrong brother. He is ready. His posture shows that what you're saying, the information that you said in the 3 pages, that would have been the important information to bring to the table when discussing this matter with Jordan Peterson. Because you're giving him accounts that are aligned with what he actually believes. He agrees with those people. Based off of what you read, he agrees with those people. But the other things that you're not mentioning in those 3 pages that you have, that would have been useful in this back and forth. So basically, you presented something to him that is not a smoking gun, and I'm certain you picked that part of what you presented in order for it to do just that, but it failed. So, in order for us to move forward, we need somebody to be specific and tell him exactly what he's doing wrong. Like he said, he got 500 hours of lessons that he has been teaching that are on YouTube. And no matter how much of a fine-tooth comb you use to go through those teachings, you're not going to be able to find anything discriminatory on him, because that's just not who he is. And just looking at how he's posturing himself, he's waiting for somebody to find it and challenge him on it. That's the type of people that I respect. That's the type of people that I respect. Like, yeah, go through my stuff, find what you want, and then come at me with it, because I'm ready to discuss that. I did nothing wrong. That's why he don't believe in apology. Apologize for what? If you did it, then you intentionally did it. So, man up to it. But he did nothing wrong. So I really want to know exactly what he did that has him here in front of a hearing where he was probably at this point in a position to lose his job at the university, simply because he was doing his job and he was adhering to his First Amendment. You're not taking away his freedom of speech simply because somebody else wants you to. So, yeah.
That they bring to, say, a given position. It's not in anyone's best interest that that occurs. But I don't think that you've demonstrated in the least that the opinions that I'm putting forward exist in opposition to the standard practices, of my particular discipline.
Check him.
So,
check him.
May I follow? Could you repeat one more time your response to Senators Gold and Pratt that the Ontario Human Rights Commission has provided what I would say reasonable alternatives to your objection to using pronouns?
Well, I think it's been made clear in the presentation so far is that it depends on which part of the Ontario Human Rights Commission's policies you read. And that's a big problem. I mean, one of the reasons I criticized this to begin with was because when I went through the policies, I could see that they're absolutely incoherent. So, for example, here, let me give you another example. So there's an insistence in the Ontario Human Rights Commission that sexual preference is an immutable phenomena, which indicates, at least in principle, that it's biologically grounded. But by the same token, in exactly the same policies, they presume that sexual identity, and gender expression are entirely independent. It's like, sorry guys, you can't have both of those because one's A and one's not A, and you can't put those together. And like there's endless numbers of places in the policy surrounding Bill C-16 that are characterized by that kind of logical incoherency. And I mean, what's it going to do to people who are transgender, who are making the claim that they were, say, born that way at birth, which is a strong claim? That's a biological claim. It indicates that there's a direct causal connection between some biological phenomena and the expression of a particular identity. It's actually the strongest defense that people who have, let's call them non-standard sexual identities or gender identities, have to defend their claims.
So I have to wrap it up there.
Of course you got to wrap it up there because this brother is ready and y'all ain't doing nothing with him. Who else got something for Jordan Peterson? Huh? Who else got something for me? Because I'm ready. If you ain't got anything, get out my face before I come up there and Will Smith somebody. Huh? I will go full Kanye up in here. Huh? This brother is bad, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comments below. And if you have yet to hit that subscribe button, please make sure you do so on your way out the door. Once again, guys, I am Van, and now we are all the LFR family. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video and hopefully inside the Patreon as well. You all have been amazing. Love y'all. I just received my new wallet from EKSTER, and the packaging was so nice, I figured it'd go perfectly with a glass of wine. And when you push this button, all your cards pop out. Dope. This must be the tracking device.
Oh, where's my wallet? Where's my wallet?
And with one single stroke of a button, you can find your wallet anywhere in the world, even couch cushions. If you want one, go to the link below.